All right, everybody. The Texas Longhorn football team just wrapped up their first week of practice. Now, they did get their first practice in pads for the spring practice schedule, but they're getting a full week off. They're headed to spring break. So go have fun, get your fun in. Don't have too much fun. Come back healthy. You know, stay. You, do some workouts. I know the coaching staff, that's what they're wanting. That's what the fans are wanting. I'm guilty. I'm wanting it. But show some dedication to the craft and to the game. And are you serious about wanting to go out there and be the best team in the nation? Because at the end of the day, that's the goal. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about my the thing that gives me the most hope for this team is the continuity. And boy, we got a lot of it. So if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your favorite part of the continuity that is coming back. Where do you start? Do you start on the defense or do you start on the offense? We'll start on the defense. And I mean, yes, there are some new faces coming in, but when you're talking about like Ryan Watts, legit starter coming back, Terrence Brooks, now he got some starts at the end. He did. I believe he was starting versus TCU. I remember I was like, whoa. Who's I was like, who's number 8? He's out there. He's running with the ones in the warm ups when I was at the stadium, and I was texting the group chat, hey, where's Deshaun Jameson, Brooks? But so he did get some starts towards the end, but even when you get rid of that, you got Jahdae Barron, Jaron Thompson, Taft got a lot of snaps. There's some legit, and that's just talk about the secondary. When you go to like the defensive line, Sorrell obviously starter coming back. Finkley, he got quite a few snaps last year, even though Sweat wasn't technically a starter. I mean that defensive tackle room was so loaded last year. I mean it's crazy. There were probably enough dudes that could go. Each dude in that room was probably good enough to be a starter. And most of the Division I football teams in America. So we had it really lucky last year. And we still do have it lucky because we got some really good dudes coming back. Byron Murphy, starter. That's another dude that I'm talking about. Starter quality, but technically was not a starter, just because he wasn't listed number 1 on the depth chart, but he got quite a few snaps. But you're getting the picture. There's a lot of snaps coming back. And the same rings true for the offensive side of the football. I mean, you look at the offensive line. That offensive line was young. And when you're talking about the amount of young offensive linemen that we have, I think it is a fair assumption to think that we should at least see some. I'm not talking about giant leaps and bounds, but I'm talking about even if it's just baby steps, we should see some level of production and increase from this offensive line. Whether it's from a current starter or whether it's from a guy that's just developing outside of the current starters. That's the natural, way of life. And with the amount of guys that we got on this 2 and 3 deep, it's fun saying that we actually got some guys on the 3 deep. Awesome to say. And then the way that Flood cross trains these guys, man, I mean, it's fun to really think about. And so it's just this continuity. And this is also a thing that Texas Longhorn fans that we've been complaining about for years. For a long time. We complained about continuity. Well, you look at the first time that we had continuity on the defense, we didn't fire a bunch of defensive coaches. We didn't, and it's same for offense. Now, we did have a little bit of shift on the offense. Wide receivers, running backs. Now, running backs, that didn't really hurt, but let me tell you something. You'd have to be a pretty damn bad coach to screw up Roschon Johnson and Bijan Robinson. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't think that's a hot take right there. I'm not saying Rashard Choice is a bad coach. I'm just saying because obviously right now it looks like he's just developed Jahmyr Gibbs. And Jahmyr Gibbs was talking about how all of his development goes to Rashard Choice, and Rashard Choice was the guy that developed him. It wasn't Alabama at all.
Development. I think my coach at Tech, Coach Choice, he pretty much made me who I am today. And when I went to Bama, it wasn't really that much of a huge change in my development. Um, Coach Gillespie, he did a great job with me too. He taught me a lot of stuff about the defenses and stuff. So yeah.
And we're looking at a potential first round draft pick in Jahmyr Gibbs. So Tashard Choice is one hell of a coach. Now, but it got a little sidetracked right there. But the continuity on the defense, you look at the defense. Our defense, we weren't world beaters in the defense and limiting the pass. But also another reason why that is in the statistics is because they were getting a lot of short passes, and that's because we just weren't getting them anything deep. And that's what PK's philosophy is. Well, hey, we're going to make you grind for every inch of the field, but you're not getting. Once you get to the 20, it's done. You're kicking a field goal. At best, you're kicking a field goal, and we saw that time and time again last year. But so the continuity, it helped on the we jumped from 110 to top 25 in the rush defense, which is that's an insane jump. I wouldn't be surprised if we regressed a little bit. I wouldn't really be ashamed, but as long as we don't go down to 50s or 40s, you get what I'm saying. But because the level that we saw, and that goes to the defensive tackles I was talking about earlier. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, when you got guys like that can eat up blocks, and I showed the average depth of tackle. And then you got guys like Jalen Ford coming back, ton of snaps, a lot of tackles from that guy. He's one of the best tacklers. Sorry if you see me reach my neck. I kind of working through a thing right now. But, so, back to the offense. This is the thing that I'm the most excited about. And Fanatic Perspective, shout out Fanatic Perspective, Steven, go check him out. He just had his return live stream. Didn't know it was coming. Was pleasantly surprised on that one. But he talked about Ja'Tavion Sanders. And I think I've said this in the past. I'm not sure if it was in here on a back channel, but we're just scratching the surface with Sanders. We just scratched the surface with Sanders this last year. And he just had the best Texas tight end season that we've ever had. So I agree wholeheartedly we need to get him more involved with this offense. And because he's a walking mismatch. It is. I mean, the dude is dangerous. And Steven said it doesn't even have to be these tight end screen. You know what? It doesn't, but it does. I want him. I'm telling you right now, with Sanders, how good of a blocker he is, I want him on ghost. And they had it it was an Alabama play. It just didn't work out. It was the play that Quinn got injured. It just got blown up. Sanders he did a ghost block, faded off, and then he ran a route through the middle, and that's where the ball was supposed to go. But you know how that went. Now, the targets, the overall targets coming back. This is where it gets fun. When you talk about the double-digit targets that we had. So I'm talking about any guy on Texas's roster that got double-digit targets. Worthy, Roschon Johnson, Bijan Robinson, Ja'Tavion Sanders, Jordan Whittington, Casey Kane, Keelan Robinson. Only 2 of those dudes aren't coming back. Only 2 of those dudes are not coming back to Texas. And they didn't hold up a lot of targets. That is 78.2% of the targets coming back from last year. And then it gets when you just go and count the lower guys like Savion Red. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name. I really need to go learn how to pronounce it. And then Jonathan Brooks, these guys like that. When you go and Gunnar Helm, when you add these guys in, it's 82.4% of targets coming back. Now, yes, all these targets were not with Quinn Ewers. But at the end of the day, Quinn Ewers was there for spring ball. He was there for the training camp. He was there for majority of the games last year. And I have a video coming out showing how Quinn Ewers actually... I don't want to spoil it. But he did a lot better than we thought he did. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it's coming out. Now, when you go and you consider all these things, like this continuity, like the offensive lineman, like this is a lot of chemistry coming back together. And you know what? For all the people that like to argue about the running back position not mattering, they like to argue the running back position matters a lot when it gets to oh well, we're losing Bijan Robinson and Rojan. I thought you said it didn't matter. I thought you said it was pretty replaceable, you know? And I get. Look, Bijan Robinson, generational running back, and then honestly, Roschon Johnson. I'm going to say it right now, generational running back. Sue me. Call me a homer. Say, oh, dude, you just got Roschon Johnson's jersey behind you. His per rush stats are either like within 0.1 of Bijan's, or dead even, or better than his. I mean, when you go to like the missed tackles per rush, better. Yards after contact, I think, better. I mean, Roschon Johnson is that dude. And then every time he's been given, and it's been like, there's like 5 different times across multiple seasons that he's been given a chance to tote the ball more than like 20 times. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of touchdowns in those games, and there's a lot of yards in those games. I'm big Roschon Johnson guy, and I'm not going to hide from that. I think he was a dang good back. Now, I also think we got some really good backs on this roster. I think Jonathan Brooks is one heck of a back. I think Keelan Robinson is. I've been watching more of the stuff, and you know what? I gotta. Yes, I think it sounds stupid. It does sound stupid saying, "Hey, run this guy in between the tackles," but it works. It does. There are some big ones that hit, and when they hit, they hit. With Keelan Robinson. He's also a very good pass catch. Like, this is a very good gadget guy. Cedric Baxter. That dude's a stud. Jaden Blue. He's looking good. You know? I mean, so I'm not worried about the running back. It's not like we just lost Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson. And then we got who's this 4-star or high 4-star guy coming in? No. It's not like that. Not at all. But so the chemistry that's coming back with this offense, with Quinn Ewers, his second year, I think this offense is going to do a lot of good things this year if they stay healthy. And I know, because here's the other deal. You add in guys like A.D. Mitchell, who, yes, he wasn't here. Yes, he kind of takes away from what I'm talking about with these targets. But I think this goes to an old farmer saying, an old hen makes good company. An old hen keeps good company. Maybe if they stop catching targets for you, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world to keep them in there. And maybe they, in the wide receiver room, help A.D. Mitchell understand the current culture that this team has. And if you've seen the videos, this team, they look like a team. They look like a team that's having fun in the locker room, which is the number one part. If you're not having fun, what are you doing? I understand you're out here to make a paycheck, but the teams, if you look, winning is fun. It is. Winning is fun. And teams that win have fun. It's that simple. It is that simple. You look good, you play good, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Stuff like that. I mean, it's stuff that sounds stupid, but it's true. It's true. But I'm extremely excited for this Texas Longhorn football team coming up. And then I was trying to remember to say this. The neck medicine's kind of got me a little loopy here. But Jordan Whittington. Shout out to Anwar Richardson if you're still here in this video. And if Anwar's here, Anwar, love your stuff. Good stuff, dude. Go check his stuff out on OB. Jordan Whittington's looking good, apparently. No drops. Granted, yeah, we just got the first day in pads. Or are they even allowed to tackle? No, I don't think so. But not been caught. Maybe it's time we stop sleeping on former 5-star Jordan Whittington. Hook!